Eileen and the train station helper. The train station buzzed with movement, passengers hurried to their platforms, suitcases rolled across the floor, and the loudspeaker announced upcoming departures. Little Eileen stood beside her parents, clutching her small backpack, excited for their trip. As she glanced around, she noticed an elderly man standing near the ticket counter, looking confused. He held a map in his hands, turning it this way and that, his brow furrowed. Eileen tugged on her mother's sleeve. "That man looks lost," she whispered. Her mother nodded. "Maybe he needs help." Without hesitation, Eileen walked up to the man with a bright smile. "Excuse me, sir, do you need directions?" The man sighed in relief. "Oh, dear, yes. I'm trying to find platform 7, but I think I took a wrong turn." Eileen studied the signs above. "Platform 7 is that way. I can walk with you if you'd like." The man chuckled. "You're very kind, young lady." As they strolled through the station, Eileen chatted about trains, her favorite books, and how she loved helping people. The man smiled warmly. "You remind me of my granddaughter. She's always looking out for others, just like you." When they finally reached platform 7, the man thanked Eileen with a grateful nod. "You made my day, little one." Eileen beamed. Helping people makes the world a happier place. As she returned to her parents, she knew that even the smallest acts of kindness could turn an ordinary day into an extraordinary adventure. Hope you enjoyed this one. Would you like another tale of little Eileen? As she left the market with her mother, clutching a bundle of fresh carrots, she knew that kindness and curiosity could make any simple day a grand adventure. Hope you enjoyed this one. Would you like another tale of little Eileen? The birthday surprise. Eileen learns that a friend's birthday was forgotten by others, so she gathers everyone to create a special celebration filled with homemade decorations and treats. Of course. Here's another heartwarming adventure starring little Eileen. Little Eileen and the birthday surprise. One afternoon, little Eileen skipped across the playground, eager to join her friends for a game of tag. But as she approached, she noticed that her friend Oliver was sitting alone on the swings, kicking the ground absent-mindedly. Eileen frowned. "Oliver, what's wrong?" Oliver sighed. "It's my birthday today, but no one remembered. Not even my classmates." Eileen gasped. "Your birthday? That's a huge deal." Determined to fix this, she jumped into action. "Stay right here, Oliver. I've got an idea." She dashed across the playground, whispering to her friends, gathering supplies, and enlisting helpers. Soon, the children were working together, making paper decorations from notebooks, collecting snacks, and finding a way to turn their ordinary lunch into a birthday feast. Leo crafted a party hat out of a sheet of paper. Sophie made a mini banner using colorful markers. Mia grabbed a cookie from her lunchbox and placed a candle on top. In no time, the playground transformed into a surprise party zone. Eileen marched up to Oliver with a big smile. "Close your eyes." Oliver did as he was told, and when he opened them again, his jaw dropped. His friends stood before him, cheering, holding handmade decorations, and singing "Happy Birthday." A wide grin spread across Oliver's face. "You guys remembered." Eileen giggled. "Every birthday deserves a celebration." Oliver blew out the candle on his cookie cake, feeling happier than ever. And as the playground filled with laughter and fun, Eileen knew that kindness could turn any forgotten day into an unforgettable adventure. Hope you liked this one. Would you like another story about little Eileen? The magic of snowflakes. On the first snowy day of the year, Eileen leads an exciting snowflake catching game, turning a simple winter moment into a magical memory. Of course. Here's another delightful adventure featuring little Eileen. Little Eileen and the magic of snowflakes. The first snowfall of the year had arrived, and little Eileen couldn't contain her excitement. She pressed her nose against the frosty window, watching as delicate snowflakes twirled through the air like tiny dancers. "Snow," she squealed, rushing to put on her coat, scarf, and mittens. Outside, the world had transformed into a sparkling white wonderland. The trees wore coats of frost, rooftops glistened, and the ground was blanketed in soft, powdery snow. Eileen's friends, Leo and Sophie, ran up to her, their breath puffing in the cold air. "Let's build a snowman," Leo suggested. "Or have a snowball fight," Sophie added. Eileen grinned. "I have an idea. Let's play a snowflake catching game." Her friends tilted their heads. "How do we do that?" Eileen twirled in the snow, reaching her hands toward the sky. "We try to catch the biggest, most beautiful snowflake before it melts." Excited, the children stretched out their hands, watching as tiny flakes landed on their mittens. Each one was different, some had sharp, icy edges, while others looked like delicate lace. Sophie gasped. "Look at this one. It's shaped like a star." Leo laughed. "Mine looks like a tiny flower." Eileen held up her mitten, admiring the snowflake resting on it. "Snowflakes are like little pieces of magic," she said. "No two are ever the same." As they played, more children joined in, turning the simple winter moment into a joyful celebration. And as Eileen twirled beneath the falling snow, she knew that the magic of snowflakes wasn't just in their beauty, it was in the happiness they brought to everyone around her. The wildlife watch, Eileen goes on a nature walk and spots a baby bird that fell from its nest. She carefully finds a way to help while learning about the importance of caring for wildlife. Of course. Here's another heartwarming adventure featuring little Eileen. Little Eileen and the Wildlife Watch. One crisp morning, little Eileen set off on a nature walk with her father. The forest trail was alive with rustling leaves, chirping birds, and the soft hum of insects. Eileen loved exploring the outdoors, spotting tiny creatures, and listening to the whispers of the trees. As she wandered along the path, something caught her eye, a small bundle of feathers nestled in the grass. She gasped. It was a baby bird. The tiny creature chirped weakly, its wings trembling. Eileen knelt beside it, her heart swelling with concern. Oh no! It must have fallen from its nest. Her father crouched beside her. "We have to be careful, Eileen. Baby birds need their mothers." Eileen scanned the trees above. Where's its nest? She spotted a sturdy branch with a small nest tucked between the leaves. There it is. But the nest was too high for her to reach. Thinking quickly, Eileen ran to a nearby park ranger who was tending to the plants. "Excuse me, sir. A baby bird fell, and we need to help it." The ranger smiled at her determination. "You have a kind heart, young lady. Let's see what we can do." With gentle hands, the ranger used a ladder to place the baby bird back into its nest. Eileen watched with wide eyes as the tiny creature nestled safely among its siblings. Just then, a larger bird swooped down. The mother had returned. She chirped softly, nudging her baby close. Eileen clapped her hands. "We did it." The ranger nodded. "You helped save a little life today, Eileen. Nature always needs kind hearts like yours." As she continued her walk, Eileen felt a warm glow inside. She had learned that even the smallest creatures deserved care and kindness. And with that, she skipped down the trail, ready for her next adventure. Hope you enjoyed this one. Would you like another tale of little Eileen? The Bakery Dilemma. A baker accidentally mixes the wrong ingredients, causing a bit of a mess. Eileen steps in and turns the mistake into a new delicious treat, showing that sometimes accidents lead to unexpected joys. Absolutely. Here's another charming adventure with little Eileen. Little Eileen and the Bakery Dilemma. Early one morning, little Eileen and her mother walked into their favorite bakery. The air smelled of fresh bread, cinnamon rolls, and warm pastries, the perfect way to start the day. Mr. Oliver, the friendly baker with flour dusting his apron, greeted them with a cheerful wave. "Good morning, Eileen. You're just in time to try my newest creation." But as he reached for the tray of freshly baked muffins, his smile faltered. "Oh dear," he muttered, picking up one of the treats. Eileen peered over the counter. Is something wrong, Mr. Oliver? He sighed. I was making my famous blueberry muffins, but I must have grabbed the wrong ingredients. Instead of blueberries, I accidentally mixed in chopped basil. Eileen's eyes widened. Basil? In muffins? Mr. Oliver groaned. Who would ever want a basil muffin? My customers will be so disappointed. Eileen thought for a moment, then took a deep sniff of the muffin. But it smells interesting. She smiled up at the baker. Maybe it's not a mistake, maybe it's a surprise. Mr. Oliver raised an eyebrow. A surprise? Eileen nodded eagerly. We should try one before deciding it's a disaster. With curiosity, Mr. Oliver broke one in half and handed Eileen a piece. She took a bite, and her eyes lit up. It tastes really good, she exclaimed. Her mother took a bite as well and nodded. It's different, but I think some people would love it. Just then, another customer walked in. Seeing their excitement, she asked, "What are you all eating?" Mr. Oliver hesitated, but Eileen jumped in. Mr. Oliver accidentally made basil muffins instead of blueberry, but they're delicious. The customer took a bite, then grinned. You know, this would go wonderfully with some cheese or a warm bowl of soup. Soon, word spread about the surprise muffins, and people started asking for them. Mr. Oliver laughed, shaking his head in amazement. Eileen, you've turned my mistake into a brand new recipe. With a twinkle in her eye, Eileen beamed. Sometimes accidents can lead to wonderful discoveries. And just like that, little Eileen left the bakery, knowing that every day, no matter how small, was another chance for adventure. I hope you enjoyed it. Would you like another story about little Eileen?
Follow the ice cream.
Little Eileen and the grocery store treasure hunt. Little Eileen bounced into the grocery store, her tiny sneakers squeaking against the tile floor. Her mother, clutching a neatly folded list, wheeled the cart forward. We need milk, bread, and some vegetables, her mother explained. Eileen gasped. That's just like a treasure map. She spread her arms wide. The milk is the hidden treasure, the bread is the golden loot, and the vegetables, well, those are the jewels. Her mother chuckled. Well, my little explorer, let's go find them. Eileen marched down the aisles with great determination. She examined the fruit section like a seasoned investigator, inspecting apples and sniffing oranges. Then, she spotted an elderly man staring at a towering pile of cereal boxes. He looked perplexed. Is something wrong? Eileen asked, tilting her head. The man sighed. I can't find my favorite cereal. Eileen studied the shelf. Then, with the swiftness of a tiny detective, she pointed to the top. There it is. The red box with the crunchy flakes. The man squinted, then smiled. Well, I'll be. You've got sharp eyes, young lady. With the help of a store clerk, the cereal was rescued from its high perch, and the man waved at Eileen as he walked away. Next, she found herself in the frozen section, hunting for her family's favorite waffle brand. But just as she grabbed the box, she noticed a small boy frowning at an empty shelf. My waffles are gone, he murmured. Eileen looked at her box and then at the boy. With a big grin, she held it out to him. Here. You can have it. The boy's eyes widened. Really? Eileen nodded. Sharing makes the world happier. The boy beamed and took the box gratefully. At last, Eileen and her mother reached the checkout lane. Her mother ruffled her hair. You turned grocery shopping into an adventure. Eileen giggled. Because every day is a chance to do something amazing. And just like that, little Eileen left the store, already dreaming of her next grand journey. Hope you liked this one. Would you like another story about little Eileen?
Little Eileen clutched her ticket tightly in her small hand, eyes sparkling with excitement as she stepped through the gates of the county fair. To most, the fair was a collection of rides, food stands, and farm animals, but to Eileen, it was a sprawling kingdom of wonders. a place where heroes sought treasure and mysteries lurked behind every game booth. The first stop on her adventure was the cotton candy stand, where great fluffy pink clouds swirled onto paper sticks like magic spells being conjured. When she held her treat in both hands, it felt impossibly soft. Surely she had captured a piece of the sky. As she took a bite, she imagined herself floating away with the sugary fluff, sailing over the fairgrounds like an explorer in a candy floss airship. Next, Eileen wandered into the petting zoo where she encountered her greatest challenge yet, befriending a pony. She approached with caution, imagining the little brown horse as a mighty steed awaiting a brave rider. Holding out her palm, she let the pony nibble at the food in her hand, and at that moment, she knew they were bonded forever. If the fair were ever in peril, she decided, this pony would be her trusted companion, galloping to the rescue. At the game booths, Eileen spotted the ring toss, a deceptively simple task, but in her mind, the wooden pegs were enchanted towers, and the rings were golden halos meant to crown the wisest ruler. With fierce determination, she tossed ring after ring, narrowly missing each time. Finally, on her last try, one ring landed neatly on the tallest peg. She had done it. The kingdom was saved. As evening fell, Eileen convinced her parents to take one last ride, the Ferris wheel. As she soared higher and higher into the sky, she gasped at the sight of the fair below. It was a tiny world full of twinkling lights and laughter, an entire realm that had welcomed her as its adventurer. She pointed to the horizon, imagining the lands beyond, the places she'd explore next. She knew that tomorrow would bring new mundane adventures, but wherever she went, it would never be dull, because to Eileen, life was full of magic waiting to be discovered.